But the big news of the day, Trump did an interview yesterday and said something during the interview. There was an exchange which the internet has yet to recover from because they think it's the biggest screw up of it. I'm going to play it beginning to end and not say a word. And we're going to interpret this, fact check it, interpret, analyze, and come to conclusions as to what we think is going on here.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
Yeah, that was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS.
I got to pause it here. Has anyone, as a pure matter of semantic fact, the tattoo does not say letter M, letter S, number 1, number 3. So Trump is purely semantically, by the strictest definition of words, wrong. Has anyone ever seen Trump as stubbornly belligerent on a point? Ever? And then the question is going to be, does anybody think this is a deliberate mistake intended only to not overlook the fact that this guy's got something on his fingers, which we're going to get into in some detail? I've never seen Trump argue a point this doggedly. And I have difficulty believing it's a sincere, genuine, bona fide misapprehension of fact.
He had MS, as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's fake news.
When he was photographed in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but they're
in your picture.
Terry.
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
Okay, I'll give Terry credit. Terry handled that well. I'm going to give everybody that. Well, I don't know who that. You've all seen that link. All right, let me share that. But then we're going to get into it because there are a number of photos out there, and the spoiler, it does not seem to say letter M, letter S, number 1, number 3. No. Let's start with a couple of these pictures. And it's not for nothing. Okay, here we go. There's this one. Oh, this is I don't want to see that. How do I refresh this? Okay, this is one of the pictures that I initially saw where I thought from this picture that it actually did say 1 and 3 here. Because from this picture, it's not a question of interpretation. It looks like that's something of an M. That definitely looks like something of an S, maybe faded. That, although now I think it's a cross. Is it a cross? Looks like a 1. And what we think is a skull does look like a 3. It looks like a faded MS-13 on the fingers. That was one of the videos or photos that I initially saw that I was like, oh, okay, it says MS-13. I hate TikTok, like with a passion. Like, what is this? So the guy made a 10-second video with Trump dancing in the bottom. Okay, fine. That's one of the videos, or one of the pictures. Okay, hold up. There's another picture, and I had to go to an even worse website than TikTok, and you probably know by Freudian predictive slip, it was Reddit, where they were discussing the fact that in a photo that his wife posted to whatever the hell social media that is, she felt the need to censor out the tats on his finger. Now, would you do that if the tats on his finger were not something that would be incriminating in some realm of the universe, maybe not with the justice realm, but maybe with the gang justice realm? And this is a real picture, justice realm. And this is a real picture. This is a real post on the left, verified in another outlet. And this was the one that I, again, zoom in. It looks like it says MS-13. Why would she bleep out the tats on his hand if it was nothing incriminating? Where the confusion is, people, is that apparently people think Trump is referring to this picture, which is a picture that Trump held up which has superimposed over it the letter M to interpret the marijuana emblem, S to indicate the smiley face, whatever the hell this thing is, logo thing, 1 for the cross, and 3 for the skull. And now you can appreciate in that low resolution blurry image, it wasn't a 3, it was a skull. Some people are suggesting that Trump actually thought this was on the guy's hand, as though there would also be in small lowercase letters, marijuana, smiley, cross, 3. Trump didn't know this was Photoshop. Add make it less retarded. Oh, I hate it when people do that. I want to see if I have the picture of Trump holding it up. And the suggestion is, oh my goodness, Trump literally thought the picture that he held up was not photoshopped. Hold on, I don't have it here. So let me find the picture because it's worth looking at. Trump MS-13 Garcia. And it will be in one of the images. This one right here. Didn't know the picture had something overlaid on it and that he had typed, written on his hand, marijuana, smiley, whatever. Is Trump deliberately making a mistake so that people are forced to argue the fact that this guy doesn't have MS-13 gang-related tats on his fingers? Or is he sincerely making a stupid mistake that is horribly embarrassing? I'm going to go ahead and say definitely not the former. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't say literally the letters MS-13, but it does say marijuana, smiley face, cross, and the skull and crossbones. And it was so incriminating that the wife herself had to bleep it out when she posted that picture on the interwebs. Look at this. Times of India, take it at a grain of salt. Sometimes they're questionable. What is the truth of Kilmar Orbrega Garcia's MS-13 tattoo? A photo that Trump shared. Donald Trump has been accused of sharing a fake image of the knuckles of Kilmar Orbrega Garcia, which shows MS-13 written on it. Social media users pointed out that the letters MS and the numbers 1-3 are superimposed on the photo, and those letters and numbers do not appear on any other photos of Garcia. Garcia is the Maryland father. He's the El Salvadoran illegal immigrant who happens to have a child who came to the U.S. illegally in 2019, yada, yada, yada. In a court case, the Trump administration claimed that he was wrongly deported to El Salvador, yada, yada, yada. What is the truth of the photoshopped photo? The word MS-13 are not part of the tattoo, and they were used in the photo Trump shared to denote the meaning of the tattoo. On the knuckles, there are tattoos of 4 symbols, which stand for MS-13. This is a hand of a man that the Democrats feel should be brought back to the United States, yada, yada, yada. What is MS-13? And that's about the level of their fact check. Do we believe that Trump didn't know that the letters were actually imposed on the photo, as was with the words marijuana smiley? I leave it to the chat to determine that, but it's quite clear, I think. That being said, we are now discussing the fact that this man, criminal, wife beater, alleged human trafficker, illegal alien, deported. The administrative error was that he shouldn't have been deported to El Salvador because the rival gangs wished him harm when they were giving him that, I forget what the word is, non-deportation to a specific country, not non-deportation at large. When he's saying, no, that's what it says. Like, imagine it said in the Greek alphabet, I don't know what the letter is for A, like alpha, beta, gamma, sigma, epsilon, whatever. If it had the Greek letter, or the Greek Roman numeral for M, or the Greek letter for M, the Greek letter for S, and then the Roman numeral for 1 and the Roman numeral for 3. Well, it doesn't say MS-13, but that's what it says. So I think it's a deliberate mistake. It's forcing the discussion. I've never seen Trump harp on an issue like that. Those are my personal thoughts. All right. Now, that being said, that's not it. We're not done yet. The good and the bad and the ugly of the first 100 days. I think the hero in it for me is Homan. Homan, I think, has been the one who has performed the best thus far. Kash Patel has done good. Dan Bongino has yet to have his moment. I want to know who the pipe bombers are. I know that Dan knows, and I know that Dan is going to get to the bottom of it. Pam Bondi had her flub. RFK Jr. is doing great work, but hasn't had the shine that Homan has had. And Tulsi Gabbard is doing some great stuff. Hasn't had the shine, had a bit of the hiccup with the Signal Gate, as has Pete Hegseth. Homan, I love him.
I said from day one, you don't have to support ICE's operations. You can support sanctuary cities if that's what you desire to do. Sanctuary cities can stand aside and watch ICE keep their communities safe, because any public official, whether you're mayor, city councilman, or governor, their number one responsibility is protection of the communities. And ICE has been clear, we're targeting public safety threats and national security threats. I can't believe there's any elected official, and especially a judge, that doesn't believe we should be doing that, and they should be helping us. What I said from day one, you can sit aside and watch. You can argue against us all you want and protest all you want. But when you cross that line, I've said this 1,000 times, when you cross that line to impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien from ICE, you will be prosecuted, judge or not. As I said from day one.
Who doesn't love this guy other than the left? He's amazing. Says it like it is, does what he says. He's amazing.